Welcome to Athletes Corner with Khalid Gray. Today we have a very special guest, Stokes Jr. Would you like to introduce yourself to everybody that don't know who you are?
I mean, if you know, you know. My name Fred, and yeah.
Word. So, Fred, this episode's of Athletes Corner. Athletes Corner's main mission is to kind of dive into the athlete's background and talk a little bit more about you and the sport, but more about you. So, one of my first questions to you, what got you into playing football?
Sure, I would say I really been into all type of sports growing up. Like, my parents type people who put me in basketball growing up, football growing up, soccer growing up, volleyball growing up. I played handball. We played all type of sports. I ain't gonna lie, we would do everything for real, so.
Word. So kind of speaking on that, what was it like being a multi-sport athlete kind of growing up? What was the environment around it, you know what I mean?
Sure, it was really just a grind for real. My little brother would tell you how much work we would put in just on a daily basis, just doing everything. I'm talking about from the morning time, making sure you eat breakfast, to going out, having all your stuff for practice. Word. We did football. Shout out to the Westchester Raiders. If you tune in No Script, you're going to see what we was out there doing every Sunday.
Word.
But it was just that grind.
So was your high school years, did you always play on the defensive end of the ball, or were you also on the offensive side of the ball too?
See, you feel me? I'm going to just tell you, I could play everything.
Word. So you could be a tight end if you wanted to be?
Tight end, running back, whatever. I'm really great, actually.
You remind me of Anthony Edwards, in that one interview where he's I could play all of them. You talk about the baseball one, all that, that's what it reminds me of. So
yeah.
Talk a little bit about your other sports and the experience that you had. Did you play basketball? Did you play any of the other sports? What other experience did you have playing sports?
Yeah, I dabbled in basketball. I would like to say that I'm talented, but yeah, that's my thing, basketball for a little bit. But I don't like to say too much about that because football is my focus now.
Word.
You feel me?
Word. So kind of transitioning, what was your what was your high school experience playing football?
So I started off at Riverside Brookfield High School, and over there I played DN, D tackle, linebacker. I really tried some safety for a little bit over there. We ain't gonna say too much about that. Do your homework. And then after my freshman year, I transferred to Montini Catholic, and we just took off from there. I played my junior year. I was working there. And then, I think it was that time going into, my senior year, we talked about, being able to take it seriously and play on the next level, you feel me? So, took it locked in for a little bit, and then ended up going and flying, getting an offer. And that's it, really.
Word. So, last thing about your senior year, because I know the senior year for a lot of athletes is, the big decision. So, you ended up going to Central Michigan, if I'm correct. And what was that decision like, going from high school and making that decision to go to college and play college football?
I mean, it was really a natural thing because I know I love football. I just love the action behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a great environment for me. So, it was just natural to say that I would want to play football full on and just dedicate myself to the game and do it for school, too, because if you're not educated, you don't have nothing.
For sure. And what were some what were some important people on your
Nah, I'm just playing. Let me go back. I'm just playing, y'all. If you don't, I'm just playing. That don't mean you don't got nothing. You can get your work doing other things, doing anything, really. You don't just got to be educated to have it, but it is a plus.
Word. And I feel like that's
I have
really...
to clear that up. You feel
No. We got you,
know?
bro, because we understand that being a student athlete is a two-world thing and the importance of having both sides, so...
Facts. It really is. That goes very deep. It's very much two-sided as far as understanding that school is number one. You feel me? So.
Yeah, and let's touch on that for a little bit, because we know a lot of people's misconceptions about football players. It's just football. But what is it like balancing the student life, the homework, the studying, the test, while also having to read the playbook and prepare for the next game?
I mean, it's just really about consistency and focusing because, really, I've been doing this since my freshman year. So it's if you just follow the right habits and know what you're doing, you're gonna be able to like build up. But it's really not easy at all. Like if you made it to where I am right now, you know the work we put in, and if you're trying to get there, you know that you need to listen to the older generation, no matter how it sounds. So it's just really about being dedicated to what you're doing and just staying on top of like what's good in your life, because it's not all bad. Do your homework on pushing positivity.
Amen. So you speak about, a lot about the old, like the old, not old heads, but like the people that were there before you. What was the importance of having like that community of people that were there in your position, or just those that were in your community to help build you up?
I would say everybody plays a huge role in like just what you said, building up.
Yeah.
Like my building up or whatever.
Do you have anybody specifically that helped you get to where you are right now?
My mama, my daddy, my cousin, my brother, and all them that's affiliated with them. Like if you know, you know. And all my peoples, all my friends, y'all know, you know. So y'all know. I ain't gonna say too much.
For sure.
I already said a lot, you know.
For sure, for sure. So you made the transition from Central Michigan going to, you good? What's up?
No, you just gotta know.
Word,
it's
word.
real homework behind that, you know.
I feel you. So you made the transfer from Central Michigan to PV, and you had a standout year. I mean, like your stats are just like they're crazy right now. And the first 2 years, you being there and making that transition, what helped you make that dramatic transition from being at Central Michigan, coming to PV, and just having a breakout year?
Well, I appreciate that, first of all.
For sure.
Because I really do be trying to work and make sure I stay on top of everything I got going on. But with the transition, I would say the first thing is just making sure that I go into a mode that everything that I think I need to do, I'm doing.
Yeah.
And prioritizing, you feel me? It's hard to know what's right versus what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like just figuring that out, that's like what's going to build everything for you.
For sure. So one big thing, and we're going to transition to more football talk. One of my questions to you is, when you made that transition from Central Michigan coming down to PV, you have this sort of homecoming experience where it was like everybody came back to Chicago to record your own episode of what's
No script.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Flatline for a little bit. But it was directed by one of our own, Justin, as well. So what was the experience just having like a whole episode dedicated to on your first year being here, kind of just to get a little bit more about you?
Oh, yeah. First of all, it was great having Justin and the guys slide to Chicago from PV. Like, that was great. And I feel like being able to have everybody, like, really see how I grew up in my hometown, like, it just made everything special. Because I ain't gonna lie, Westchester, Illinois is a small town, but we really got some big hearts over there. So I'm gonna say that, like, we really smooth over there.
Word.
Because we just locked in family ties and we do it big. And we got it big. Let's start that. Do your homework.
For sure. So when you came down here, I know it's like a whole different personnel, both like completely different players, completely different playbook, completely different coaches, and that hasn't stopped you from dominating on the defensive end. So one of my questions to you is, when it came to the clientele that you're also with now, like your teammates, how is the chemistry between you guys when y'all go out on that field every single game?
Well, first of all, they're my brothers for real. Like, I love each and every one of them. Like, we locked in, and we know what's going on come game day. We know what's going on through the week.
For sure.
So, as far as everything else that go on, like, we locked in on that side. So,
for sure. And there's a few key games I want to mention to you that you played exceptionally well in. I mean, when you talk about the Grambling game, just how quick that defense second half was just shutting down Grambling for a while.
Yeah.
And then you also have the game against Texas A&M Commerce, and the most recent game with FAMU, the way that y'all were able to shut down and blitz that offense. When you're lining up against these guys, what goes through your mind? What quick decisions, like what's going on? Like, put us in the mind state of Fred Stokes as he lines up against the other line.
well, first of all, we have a great defensive coordinator in Coach Rock. Do your homework on Coach Rock, and he really is great. And we've been great, as you see, getting results, because that's really what we focused on. So I'm gonna say having a good state of mind and practice every day, being level-headed. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Not being too much, but not being too low neither.
Yeah.
That's our main focus, and then just having the right mentality throughout practice. You know what I'm saying? We do it every single day. It's not nothing new we see in the game. So
For sure.
you ask me what my mindset is going in the game, how do I line up? I just line up as if I'm in practice. What do I see? We
For
communicated about it throughout the whole week. So what do I see? Do I see he gonna run a play action pass? If so, I'm gonna hit him with this inside step and then spin move outside, attack the lane, attack the lane, because everything is a path. I've been doing this since Monday.
Yeah.
Let's start though.
Yep. And one of the things that I want to just note right now, you lead the team in sacks. So when you think about just understanding the playbook, and then on top of that, you're very disciplined. A lot of the defensive line is very disciplined going down the stretch, and even when you guys are trailing. So it's another question about what's the mentality kind of going down late in games and then coming back through your defensive effort. What does it take to do that?
I really just say keep your head down, like making sure that, like I said, you don't get too high, don't get too low. We're making sure we're doing our thing. And then what we do need to adjust, we already know what we need to do because it's not how it looked in practice. So it's just being able to attack that and just being mature about doing your job, regardless of your feelings or regardless of everything else going on. We're going to lock in the day and like get it done as you've seen. Feel me?
For sure. And I think I have a couple more questions about just you playing, and what are some of your expectations kind of for the rest of your career as a college football player and going to the pros in the future?
As far as that goes, I'm just going to let the course take itself. Like, I'm just trying to put my head down and work every single day because, honestly, this has been a great experience at PV, and I don't think I would trade it for anything coming to Texas downhill for my last year of football.
For sure. And I got a few other questions that aren't really football related, but what are some things that the audience may not know about you, Fred? Some like fun stuff.
You feel me? Something about me is I'm really ambidextrous.
Word.
Do your homework on. I really could do everything with my left hand. Y'all see this thumb? It's not like this thumb.
What is it? Oh, word.
I don't know if you could see it. This mother swole.
Word.
I ain't been able to do nothing with it, so I just been making it work.
Word.
Something else about me, I'm pretty good at basketball. Like, I don't think there's nobody on campus who can see me really.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay, word. Okay, word. Also, and...
Or my little brother.
Okay.
My little brother is a 6'5" point guard, but I ain't gonna say nothing else about him. You just gotta see us, really.
For sure. So if anybody, talking about anybody on campus, anybody, you think you could line up 2-on-2 with them? For sure.
Yeah,
21 Scoon.
like whatever, like in between that, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I mess with the confidence heavy, bro. So one of my last questions is, what is next for you? Not just with football, but what is next in general for just what you got going on with, just life in general?
Sure, really just trying to make sure that I stay close to my family and make sure that I keep communicating with my whole network of people because it's a lot of things I could do, but I really don't know what's in store for me next. I know football is a great path for me, but as far as my whole life goes, I'm very interested in the health field. Like, I love networking with people to work on their health mentally and their health physically.
I feel you. And how important is athlete mental health in college?
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie, it's really everything for real. Like, it's really everything. Like, it's very sad how underappreciated mental assistance is. Like, people need somebody to talk to for real on the athlete side alone.
For sure. And one of our final questions, kind of to end this off, we know you'll have a big game against Alcorn coming up.
Yeah, big one.
What is your mentality going into this next game? And what can you tell the people about this upcoming game and, what we should expect as viewers?
Sure. If y'all went to FAMU, you know.
For sure.
We on that 3-game win streak. We going to keep it rolling, man.
For sure.
You know, that's all I'm going to say.
For sure. Well, Fred, this is the end of the interview. It was great having you here, man.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Can't wait to see you guys against Alcorn, see what the defensive line does with you at the leadership position. Just straight dominance. That's all I can really say. But this wraps up Athletes Corner with our special guest, Fred Stokes Jr. We will see him in the game against Alcorn to dominate and shut down the offense. You guys can see us on other platforms. We're on Instagram as well. We're also on YouTube, where you can see shows like Zone 4, Panther News Network, PVU Tailgate, and PV on the Run. This has been Khalid Gray with Fred Stokes Jr., and we will see you guys in the next one.